Who's the number one YouTuber you watch?
Grant Cohn. You gotta watch him. He's got the best information on sports.
This defensive end who is suspended for 6 games without pay because he violated the league's performance-enhancing drugs policy. That's how you have to say it. Anything else and you get in trouble. So this was the guy that the Niners chose to sign over all kind of proven vets because he's young. He was on the team last year and he had 2.5 sacks in 9 games. What do the Niners do now? Didn't they already have a need for edge rush depth, and isn't it bigger?
It absolutely is, in my opinion. I think that before this, we were still struggling with the idea of needing another depth piece. And now that you've lost Willis for the first 6 games of the season, it feels like unless you're truly counting on Arden Key to have some sort of a wake-up moment, you have to add some depth. When I look at the depth chart that we have there, unless you're counting on D Ford to take a huge step up, I mean, then you're looking at Alex Barrett. I mean, it gets ugly at that point. And so it feels like a necessity to bring in some additional help. And there are veterans out there that feel like they could fit the bill, right? You and I had a conversation before about trying to pick up Justin Houston. And I still am on the Justin Houston train. He is by far the most consistent pass rush specialist remaining in free agency. So I think you have to bring him in. And the other guy that's out there where he could want to sign for one of those vet minimum deals is Melvin Ingram, coming off injury, which I know Niners fans wouldn't be thrilled about. But at this point, what other options do we have? And someone looking to prove it, right? We need that 1-year prove it deal.
Yeah, as Big Ben Meyerson points out, the Niners are committed to Jordan Willis because they traded for him last year.
Right.
So it actually opens the door for them to get aggressive and sign someone else. They had a reason not to do it. Now they can get one of these great free agent pass rushers who are available. Not great, but good ones. Thing is, I don't think they can afford to. Even though they have $17 million in cap space, they haven't signed Trey Lance yet, so that's $8 million, I think. I don't know if it's 8. It's a significant portion for him. Maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4. And then they have to give Fred Warner an extension. So I don't know how much cap space they actually have.
I think it's under 10 million. Once we get everybody signed, I think we're under 10. It is tight. It's real tight.
So if it's 9 after all the rookies get signed, then I think the remaining would have to be earmarked for Fred Warner, and I think that's why the Niners haven't gone after someone like Melvin Ingram or Everson Griffin or Justin Houston when they absolutely should and could. So that's what I say. I think as long as Jimmy Garoppolo is on the team, they're going to be pretty much a more likely scenario for them as they re-sign Deion Jordan. Which is not exactly exciting.
No, that is not exciting at all.
Went to Oregon.
As a matter of fact, he did. And I mean, hey, shout out to Oregon. Yeah, I mean, without extending someone and trying to push some of those cap dollars around, it does seem tight. And the people that we can extend to get that money, most 49ers fans want to shy away from. Eric Armstead.
Oof.
I think if you ask your audience, they're probably going to say, no way, please don't.
Backload that some more, extend and backload more. Ooh, no thanks. No.
Jimmy
No.
G?
No.
Hard pass for most people, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy Ward, that one I like. I still do. I presented that as an option when we were talking about the Julio trade. Even if you don't extend the years in the contract, you could prorate. You could take next year's salary or this year's salary, turn it into a signing bonus, and then prorate it over next year. It gets you about $5 million. But that's money that really needs to be there in case of emergency.
Right.
We are
Absolutely
up against it to where every dollar matters at this point.
Yes.
And so the question is one of these veterans, a Justin Houston or a Melvin Ingram, are they worth the potential headache of not having those cap dollars later if we need them?
Look, I think they should go get Melvin Ingram right now. The problem is they got to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. And I'm cool with them doing that too. I mean, I guess you want to let Trey Lance win a quarterback competition first before getting rid of Jimmy. But at a certain point, if Trey Lance wins, you'd like to think that you could just get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo before he gets injured, and then you could get rid of all that money and then bring in someone else. You could trade, you could cut, you could sign anyone else, more just some additions, some depth, because it looks like the same team as last year that went 6-10. I mean, they gained Samson Ebukam, they lost Kendrick Bourne. It's kind of running it back from last year. I think they could definitely use some additions. Why not? And Jimmy's in the way. But I'm just planting seeds here for the viewers. I don't want to make their mind up for them or you. But you know how I feel about Jimmy.
I do know how you feel about Jimmy. And, I mean, I think that I'm hoping that Samson Ebukam is really the answer. And I think that it would be a fantastic interview. I want to talk to Samson.
Yeah.
I think that we should have Samson on the show. I'll try to talk to Samson while I'm here in Hawaii. It's a tough situation for sure. There really aren't too lots of viable options there. I agree with the sentiment that you would prefer to have Trey win the quarterback competition before you let Jimmy go, because the locker room could be divided if you didn't do that, right? You got to let everybody know, no, Trey is better, therefore Jimmy's out. But you then have to get a trade going for Jimmy before the rest of the world knows that's the fact. Because if everybody knows that Trey's better, all of a sudden your trade leverage is kaput, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to give you anything if they know Jimmy's your backup for the year.